Hi everybody, Chris Boyd here with something more for your financial well-being. It's a new year and I thought I'd share with you a couple of ideas of some things you might want to be thinking about as you start the new year. One of those is to update your beneficiaries. We oftentimes forget when things change from one year to the next, life circumstances, you may need to update things. Common experience is when someone goes through a divorce, doesn't always remember to update the beneficiary appropriately. On a life insurance, IRAs, retirement accounts at work, 401k, 403b, etc. Or if you have an annuity. All of these are examples where you might have a beneficiary designation that you might need to update once in a while. If you're over retirement age and you're in retirement, you may be subject to required minimum distributions. In the past, because of the Secure Act, it used to be if you were 70 and a half or older, you would have a distribution requirement. But this year, unless you previously started a distribution requirement, so if last year you had a distribution requirement, this year you're required to do it again. But if you're just starting, you don't have to start until 72, age 72. And if you're still working in retirement, you're still allowed to contribute to your IRA. Those are some key changes. We'll talk about the Secure Act again in the future, I'm sure. So one of the things that you might want to think about if you're a working person is that you can be updating how much you put into your investment accounts at work, your retirement plan. So if you have a 401k, a 403b, a TSP, a 457 plan, all of these are plans that allow you to contribute. You can increase the amount to $19,500, and if you're over 50, you can do an additional $6,500. If you have a different type of plan at work, like a simple IRA, you can do $13,500, and if you're over 50, you get an additional $3,000 you can put into your account. For those who are just using IRAs or Roth IRAs, the amounts haven't changed. $6,000 is the maximum you can put in, with $1,000 more if you are over 50. However, the thresholds for where income cutoffs of who's eligible to participate in an IRA has gone up slightly this year. It's not too late for some people who may want to still contribute to their retirement plan for 2019 if you're self-employed or if you are using something like a SEP or your employer contribution in your retirement plan. For people who are not in that situation, you may still be able to use an IRA. Prior to your filing your tax return, check with your tax advisor to see if you're eligible. But you may be able to put money into a retirement account even still for 2019. Tax planning for 2020, is one of those things that any year, if you look back at your prior year, how much did you pay in taxes? If you're finding that there's too much and some of that's coming as a consequence of your investment portfolio, we might be able to be of help in that sort of situation. We find a lot of times, particularly after a year like last year, where there are a lot of capital gains in investments, and sometimes when you're invested in mutual funds particularly, some of those capital gains gets distributed to investors, and so they have extra tax consequence because of beyond their control, not because they sold stuff, but things within the fund got sold, and it gets sent out to the owner of the account in a non-IRA type setting, a taxable account. You can use ETFs, they're more tax efficient, and maybe there's other opportunities that we can be thinking about being a little more tax efficient in the process. So keep that in mind, certainly can help if you have any questions about that. Remember, annuities aren't the only way to get tax deferral, so there's other possibilities. We had a really big seminar with Boyd & Boyd. Boyd & Boyd had a big seminar. We were a participant in it on the Secure Act and some of the changes that have come about as that. We're definitely talking about that on the radio show. And if you want to catch some of those, you can always go to our website, amrfinancial.com, or we're on Saturdays from 3 to 5 on WXDK 95.1 FM, one of the iHeart stations. You can catch it through that app. As far as the Secure Act, which was the point of that seminar we had, a lot of changes. Some of them I've mentioned briefly here. We'll talk about them again in the future, but it does point to more and more, if you're in retirement or approaching retirement, we want to be looking at when to time the possibilities of a Roth IRA converting money from your IRA to a Roth account. Oftentimes that can be much more cost effective later in retirement and can be beneficial. With that, if you need any help with your personal finance, give us a call at 508-771-8900 or look us up on the web at amrfinancial.com. Until next time, keep striving for something more.